Hey, yo, everybody. It's been a crazy weekend. Yeah, got the hat back on. All right, this isn't going to be too long. I guess I just want to talk about some of the updates I've been doing recently. Been working on levels a lot. So I hired my friend Peter, who's been helping me work on the levels. He's been doing a great job. And, so it's been a collaboration. I've been doing some editing. He'll do some editing, and we've been kind of tossing it back and forth. I'm having a talk with him a little later tonight, actually, about it. So, been working on that. I made a change also let me show you my change list here. I made a change also to the way. Where is it? This. Basically, if you make multiple attempts, you're going to get a deduction. Does it show there? Yeah. So if you make multiple attempts, you're going to get a deduction. So it'll bump you down from an A rank to a B or a B to a C. Pretty easy, but I think that makes sense. Just playing through all those different levels. You know, you start noticing some patterns is all. What else? Close that. Fix some bugs. I made it so you can beam up dead people. Little quality of life here. When you're in the editor, you can hold down the space bar and drag the mouse around to pan the screen. It's pretty nice. It's a Photoshop thing. I moved the reactor on the game over screen because it was obscuring some of the text. Reduced the snapping distance in the editor so you can put things a little closer to the wall without snapping. I was playing around with the fuel station docking gravity. It was at a certain level. I increased it. Played it for a couple days, didn't like it, changed it back down. It's still a little higher than it was, but it's not as high as I bumped it up to. I find that's actually a good way to test this stuff. Is you sort of change it to some unreasonable value from what it was, and then you know if you've gone too far, because sometimes you don't know, right? You gotta just try it. Lots and lots of levels. I got some new victory music from my musician, and I removed a bunch of my old lame levels from the game. Yeah. I also made a small change to the way the level chooser displays the levels. So when you go in here, let me turn that down. If you look at the levels, right, now you see, right? You see the title underneath the level. Some of these titles ended up being pretty big and they were overlapping. So that's the reason for that. And then, yeah, some level cleanups and stuff. And of course, if you've been following me on Twitter at all, you know about this thing. The ridiculous coding add-on, which it's funny, right? You can never tell. I can never tell what's going to be popular. You never know what people are going to like. And so this one just kind of blew up. And it's not a huge number of people, but I think overnight, like something like 20,000 views on that tweet. And I don't know how many people downloaded it, and who knows? I mean, it may be my most popular GitHub repository. It's got like a dozen stars or something on it. Anyway, it was fun. It has given me some more exposure that I wasn't expecting. And it actually turned into, I converted some of those views into wish lists on Steam. So, yeah, pretty cool. Right. So, quick announcement. This week, the week of August the 16th, it is now Sunday, August 16th. This week, sometime, probably before Wednesday, I'm going to release another beta test build. If you want to participate in the beta test, please come to gravityace.com, join the Discord, and ask me for a key. I have a bunch of test pilots already. If you want to join them, great. I'm not sure exactly how many keys I'm going to give out yet, so you'll probably get one, but I don't know what the response is going to be like, so we'll see. I only need a certain number, and I don't want, like, I can't manage a beta test with like 1,000 people in it or even 50 people in it. I need a pretty concise number. I'm hunting for bugs. I'm looking for a little playtest feedback, but I just can't manage a huge number of playtesters. So kind of first come, first serve. Come join the Discord. Come check it out. Ask for a key. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, should be doing that sometime before August 18th. It's not set in stone yet, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so right now I've got a couple things on my to-do list. One is these, what do you call them? Beam up indicators. Let me go into the editor. That'll be a better place to see it. So if you look at a fuel, so you see these, they'll highlight here when I'm in range, right? And that blinking, I think, is a little, it might be a little too hyper. It's like too much. So I wanted to slow that down a little bit, the blinking. And I thought I might need to redraw it, or maybe add more animation frames, but maybe I don't. Maybe maybe I can just change the speed of this animation player. Not that one. This one? No, not that one either. It's this. Yeah, see, it's going at, what if I did that? Okay, so this is going to be easier than I expected. Let's see. It's funny, I don't know if I like that better or worse. Now it's spinning way too fast. See, I kind of like it faster, actually. Now that I'm doing it, I kind of like it faster where it was. It's funny how that is. Like, I thought I wanted it slower, but maybe I actually want it faster. It's an interesting effect. I wonder if I want the rotating to be slower as well. It could be a combination of those things. So this rotating, right, it spins it, but if the object itself is also spinning, yeah, it's spinning this active thing. And this, well, I think it's because the because this is a child of this, and I'm spinning this, but this can also be spinning. So if they're both spinning, then this spin gets added to that spin. I think maybe if I did a if I did, I don't know if this is going to work. See, now it's not spinning at all. It's more complicated than I thought it would be. I think maybe it's not as important as I was thinking it was. It's funny how that happens. As soon as it gets difficult to do, I'm like, do I really need this? Maybe it's not as important as I thought. I kind of want to what I want is I want this to spin at a constant rate regardless of the parent object. But I'm not sure how I can do that with an animation player because this is just changing rotation. And if I set rotation to 0 or negative the parent, what I was doing every frame, then it effectively cancels this out. And I want to do something more complicated than that. I want to do something like, there is a global rotation property, but they're related, right? If you change rotation, I think you're going to also change global rotation. Yeah, see? So it's just not rotating anymore. Like if you change rotation, you're also going to change global rotation. They're just going to have different values, but the deltas will be the same. So I want to do something like rotation equals negative the parent rotation, so it'll be at 0, and then add on some rotation amount, right? Which would be the animation player 2 dot time position. What is it called? Current animation position times 2 times pi times delta. So that'll go 1/360 arc per second. Yeah, so now they're rotating at a, well, they're not though. Some are going left, some are going right, some are not moving at all. Let me restart that. Sometimes the script gets out of sync with what's running, you know. But I don't think I like that anyway. It's really weird code to have an animation player but then kind of ignore it. So that's rotating to the left. That's not rotating at all. That's rotating right. That's doing some kind of weird glitchy thing. Yeah, it's just not working right. I don't think I want that. Yeah. It's, I don't know. Sometimes you got to try a thing to see how hard it is, and then say, forget it. I'm not going to do it. And then just see if it still bugs me again later. Like, if it's still bugging me next week, I'll take another crack at it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to mark it done. All right. The other thing I wanted to do now was make a logging class, a script to do a little bit of simple statistics. I mean, not statistics so much, but collect some stats so that I can generate statistics later. I want to record stuff like, player started this level, they finished the level, they got a certain score, they got this rank, they went to the next level, that sort of thing. And I thought about using something like Google Analytics or something, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. The world is too invasive already, and I don't want to put in like a bunch of stuff like, hey, do you mind if I send like information to Google? I know there are going to be some people that are like, nah. Some people are like, I don't care, but it's more friction, right? So I'm going to write a log file, record it to disk. It's never going to leave the person's computer. I'll just ask them for it later. And it's probably not something I'll keep on. I mean, maybe I'll keep it on. I don't know. We'll see. For the beta test, this should be fine. So, where do I put it? I have a game singleton already. I could put it in here. I think it's probably going to be just one method. So I might as well. I'll just put it in here. I don't need to create a whole new singleton. I could create a whole new script. I could create a whole new autoload script for logging. I mean, there's kind of no reason not to. All right. You convinced me. We will put it right here, and we'll call it log.gd. Yeah, if it is separate, it will be easier to remove. I mean, I was planning on just turning it off, basically. But yeah, if it's separate, I can just delete it. Well, I won't be able to just delete it. I'll have to leave it in, but neuter it, right? Because I don't want to go back and remove all that code either. Let's see. So now I've got this. Now I can go in here. I can add it as an auto load. Like this. Call it log. Add it. Right, so now I can access it by this name. And I'm going to have a function here called info with a message, right? And that'll log something. And then this needs to open a file. So I was looking at this file documentation, and it looks pretty simple, right? You create a new file instance, you open the file, you write your string, you close the file. So I think I want to just do that every time. I don't want to open the file and leave it open and then close the file later. I think because if the game crashes or something, you'll be left open with this corrupt, open, dangling file. So what I'm going to do is say, no, log file, right? Here, I'll say log file equals right? Actually, can I do that here? Just do that there. And then here, I can say this. All right, and this will be log file, and I want to do read why was that giving an error? Mix tabs and spaces, because I copied it. Copied it from the internet. Yeah. Read write is the one I think I want. Maybe I need to seek to the end. Is there an append? There is a seek. Seek end. Perfect. I hope that does what I think it does. Yeah, so that'll go right to the end of the file. So then I think the last thing I need to do is I just need to check if this file exists. If exists log file. If not exists, so if the file doesn't exist, I need to create it, right? So I'm going to do that here with this, and then otherwise I'll do this. All right, so let me reverse these. If it's open, if the file exists, then I'll open it. I'll seek to the end, and then do this stuff. If it doesn't exist, then I'll open it with a different mode, right? And the modes are not complicated, but they're maybe poorly named. So write opens the file for write, and it creates it if it doesn't exist, and it truncates it, which means it erases everything inside of it. So I only want to do write mode if I'm just creating a new file. So that's what I do here. Open it for writing. Then I use read write if it already exists, right? So this one opens the file for read and write, but it does not truncate it. Okay, and it doesn't create it if it exists, so I have to check if it exists. If it exists, I open it this way, opens it for read and write, doesn't truncate it. And then I seek to the end. So then I can append something new, right? Store CSV line's interesting. Store 8, store 64. Open encrypted. Interesting. Okay, I think I just need to try it. I don't fully understand how everything's going. This looks correct to me. And I'm just going to see what happens. One thing is I don't know if this is going to put a new line. So I might need to append a new line to the message. We shall see. So the first thing I want to do is I want to open, what do I want to log? Let's log the start scene. And let's say log.info game started and see what happens. So that should create a file here. What the heck are these? Oh, okay. This is like the output log from the engine. Interesting. I didn't know it was recording those. That's interesting. This looks like anything I print to the output window would actually get recorded in one of these logs. Anyway, that's not what I want. I want one log file that has a bunch of stuff and I just keep adding to it. So it should create it right here when I run the game. Let's see what happens. Look at that. There it is. Game started. It did not put a new line, so let's run it again and see what happens. Yeah. So I need to put a new line at the end of each of my messages. So I'll do that right here. Hey, Abby, how's it going, buddy? I'm writing a logging thing. I know. So boring. It's Sunday night. Yeah, so the idea with this is record a log, and I'm going to record messages like, I started the game, and I passed level 3, and I died, right? And then I'm going to ask my beta testers to send me this file after they're done testing. And I don't know, maybe I'll write some program. I'll write something in Python or something that just looks for all these strings and I can collate all the data and maybe it'll be useful. We'll see. I do like that this is very short, so it's easy to write. I think the thing I want to find out is like how hard are these levels, right? We've got 22 levels right now. We're going to do a beta test, and if people get through all 22, that'll be good, right? But I'm expecting to see some kind of bell curve or drop off, and I want to know where people are getting stuck, right? So if the early levels have lots of plays and the later levels have very few or no plays, then I know there's a problem, and I should be able to pinpoint where it is. At least it'll lead me to a question, you know, hey, it looks like nobody got to level 10, you know, why not? Exactly. See, that's exactly what I'm thinking, right? People will say, oh, it was really hard, or I really liked it, but then found out, oh, they never actually finished the game. You know, it's useful to know. So I added the new line. Right? Started game. Here's my log. Game started. I wonder if I should put in the time. Do I care about the time? Yeah, I should put lots of emojis in my log file. I wonder how I can add juice to the log file. Ooh, I'm tempted. Is there a date class in Godot? Yep. Returns a dictionary. Int. Yeah. Yep. Get Unix time from date time. Get date time from Unix time. Ah, get Unix time. I mean, that would work. That would work. Let's see. Because that's easy to translate back. I could do string right? I'm trying to keep this thing as simple as possible. I really don't want to write a whole logging thing. Invalid get index based on OS. Oh, it's a function. Right? So now, yeah, I've got a Unix timestamp and I've got a message. Okay. I think that works, actually. So now I just need to know what are the things that I want to instrument here. And then later, right, to turn this off, I just say return, right? Or pass, and it's turned off. And I don't have to change any of the code. And I'm expecting these things to be, it's not going to be like logging constantly, right? Like hundreds of messages per second or something. It's like, it's going to log one message every once in a while. So yeah, let's see. We'll log when the game started. Let's see. We'll go in and log when the options change. Let's see. What options do I care about? Oh, I know. I'll go into my config singleton here, and this guy has a save, right? And that's where I can check all that stuff. Yeah. Maybe I'll do it here. Music turned off. Music turned on. Sound effects turned off. Sound effects on. Full screen on. Full screen off. Those are ones I care about. If debug mode. Ah. Yeah, maybe. I actually haven't thought about how. I guess I would release it in production mode, not debug mode. I think that's how I'm doing my builds now. Yeah, that's actually how I'm doing my builds now. I want to release them in production mode, I think. I think that's how I'm doing them. I'm not releasing debug builds right now. That's the problem. Because I want them to have the full experience with the best performance possible, and I think with debug mode, it's going to run a little slower. Maybe I'll think about it. I will think about it. Either way, it's going to, I'm going to have all these log statements everywhere. And I mean, that's an easy enough pattern to find. I can just run a grep and delete them all pretty easily. But I don't want to have if debug mode here. So if I did do that, it would do it here, which is fine too. Anyway, yeah, I'll find some way to do that. Game over, right? I want to know when the game ended. So this is interesting because it's got all the stats. Right, their rank bonus, score, right? Yeah, it stores their rank there. High score, everything, right? Everything's stored in the stats. So I should be able to say, like right here, game log.info. Is there a JSON thingy? Well, let's just say game over. Bonfire Games. Welcome, folks. Hi. You'll have to apologize. You'll have to forgive me. I apologize because I have a terrible memory. Do I know Bonfire Games? And what game are you making? Hey, Bonfire. And friends. Well, all new visitors have to tell me what they think of the hat. Also, you have to share your game. Send us a link to your game so we can check it out. Project Inferno. Sounds hot. In California here, we're going through a bit of a heat wave. It's been 100 degrees for like a week. And what engine are you doing Project Inferno in? Are you doing it in Godot Engine? Are you doing it in Unity? You doing it in hard mode with like C++? Let's see what we got here. I mean, you're describing it right. It's got a bomb and a fire right there. Oh, cool. Metroidvanias, man. It's funny. I have no interest in making a Metroidvania, or at least I think I don't. But when I was a kid, when I was younger, when I was a youth, I remember I would spend hours right in class just drawing maps, like all kinds of really elaborate maps with like little traps and walls and all kinds of stuff that you would jump over and fire and pits and a Metroidvania but on graph paper, right? And then you'd have a little stick figure guy, right? And you draw him here jumping over the pit, and you draw him here swinging across the thing. So, I mean, I guess I used to play really lo-fi Metroidvanias when I was young. When I was in school, and I couldn't play a game. So I get the appeal. Like, I think it would be fun to actually, spend a lot of time making a really, really cool map, a very elaborate map, and then being able to go back and forth and do different things in it. But it seems so hard. It just seems so complicated. I don't know how you keep everything straight. Did Game Maker Studio just come out with a new version or something? I heard the new one is pretty good. Yeah, I'm working on Gravadius. Let me show you. So this is Godot Engine. If you were using Godot Engine, you'd get this. But let me show you the actual game. It's a space game. Show you one of my new levels here. Let's do this one. This is one of the ones I was telling you guys my friend Peter made. You're low on fuel. Dock with the fuel station. Oh! Oh my god. I blew it up. Well, this is going to be a short run. Is there another fuel? There is. It's right there. I can see it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. F. Failure. Look how sad she is. I should draw one tear right there. She's so sad. All right, let's see if the log file worked. Look at that. Game started. Music on. Sound effects on. Full screen on. Game started. Again. Then game over. Right? Because I'm not recording any of my... like what level or anything yet. Hey, here's Peter. Hey man, we just played one of the levels. Peter's the guy that's made these levels. Everybody say hi, Peter. Peter's my level designer. So check this out. We just played this one. It's war out there. And I blew up the fuel station by hitting a rock. So there was like a rock right here, and I opened this, and I hit the rock, and the rock flew into this and just blew it up, and I couldn't make it to the next fuel station in time. It's fine. I don't want to take away the rock's ability to blow up fuel stations. I think it's really cool. It was a freak occurrence. I don't think it'll happen again. So you shoot, right? This time no rocks, right? Now I can blow it up because I've gotten the gas out of it. Beam up that guy. Oh, look, I made it so you can beam up the dead people, Peter. You can get points for them. No one left behind is the new motto. I also doubled the timeout. It was a half second when of firing. A half second of firing would turn your shield off, and I doubled it to a full second. See if I can make it to that other fuel station now. You can see it. Look at that expert flying. Grab this baby. So nice. Oh, and this is the new victory track. It is coming together. It's great that it's coming together, actually. I was so excited working on this weekend because I can finally see the end, right? The light at the end of the tunnel is coming. Can you guys spot the bug right here? People rescued 2 out of 1. It's because it's only counting the living ones. I need to not count the people rescued when they're dead. Let me fix that real quick. Sega Genesis vibes. Person. Yeah, rescued, right? Now I think what I'm gonna do is just see right here. If not alive. No, if alive. Alright, so you still get the points for getting them, but it's not going to increase the rescued stat if they're already dead. I think that's fair. Let me commit that real quick. I'm not even going to test it. Just going to do it and commit it. Game development Git messages are messed up. All right, so I was working on a logging thing. This is what I've got going so far. This is a Unix timestamp. And I was here. No. I was here at game over, right? And I wanted to put in like a, basically I have all these stats that I collect, right? And I wanted to create a like JSON string representation of it. And I know that there's something in here. There it is. And I'll bet you it takes a dictionary. Converts a variant var to JSON text and returns the result. Perfect. So that's exactly what I want. I just want to take that and then add that. Let's see what that does. Let me play another quick level. This time I'll do it with the gamepad. This is the very first tutorial level, so there's some text that pauses the game, but it's very minimal. Very minimal, very... it's you know, it's as minimal as you can get, basically. Alright, let's look at our log file again. No error. Doesn't have to pause the game. We've been back and forth on this. Look at that. So I've got, when I get to the game over screen, I get the number of attempts, their score, their high score, their time, whether they ran out of fuel or not, how many shots they fired. Oh, yeah, see, this is good. Rank. Maybe what I'll do is I'm going to actually put that on its own line just to make it easier to parse. Will it matter? Yeah, I'm going to put it on its own line just to make it easier to parse later. So I'll do 2 log statements here. Boom. Do this one. That delights me. That is delightful. I'm never going to get tired of that. In case anybody out there is doing... hold on a second. Typing and... here it is. Typing and trying to talk at the same time. In case anybody out there is doing Godot development and they want that ridiculous coding experience with the explosions, there's a link there in the chat for you. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Oh, it just makes you want to delete code. Feels powerful. All right, so I've got stats on deleting. Let's see, what else did I want stats on? Here's my to-do here. So number of times each level was played. So I want to, so I've got this, I've got that. I've got these. Number of times each level was played. I need to record what level they loaded, which one they selected. So I think that would be here. And it's going to be choose level. And does this actually... This is the chooser, choose campaign. Does this actually load the game? It bums me out that my memory's not that good. Like, I mean, I wrote this code months ago, and I wish I could remember how it worked. Oh, I know where I would put it. Main. Duh. Right here. Who's got time for comments? Log.info. Playing level. Oh, right. That should work. Yeah, past me, future me hates past me. Future me hates current me. I think current me also hates future me, probably. I know I'm going to do some stupid stuff. All right, so I should see... So let's count how many times I should see that log statement. I'm going to pick a level. I should see 1, right? The level was loaded and I just started playing it. And then if I... Oh. So if I do this, I should see 2 now. If I do this, I should see 3. Ah, screw it. I'm going to go in here. And now try again. I should see 4 log statements for this level. And then I'm going to quit. Let's look at our log file. One, two, three, 4. Right? And there was the one, that third attempt where I quit. So this was the initial load. This was going into the editor. This was restarting. This was finishing the level. And then this was trying it again. I like that, but I think I can do better. Let's do the actual name of the level, because I don't really care. In a sense, I want this to be human readable, not machine readable. Like, I want to be able to look at it and go, ah. So let's do campaign.get level, right? And then do I have a get level name? I do not. How do I get the level name? Level data. So boring. Must be in here. Oops. I put comments in where I think I figured out something hard to remember or hard to understand. I don't tend to put in comments at things where I can just look at the code and see what it means. Because then otherwise you're always like, do you trust the comments, right? You have to keep the comments in the code in sync all the time. So where I do put comments, I tend to just say, talk about concepts, right? Here's what this thing should be doing. Here's what I expect. Here's why I had some problems with it or why it's doing some weird thing. I don't usually go like line by line saying this line does this and this line does this. And then for a lot of these methods, they're so small, I just don't comment it. The problem is that this whole game's this giant system, right? And I didn't document the system at all. And the problem I'm having right at this moment is I don't remember where in the system I get the level name from. And I know I can find it, it's just time consuming. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want. All right. Level data. And then name is that. That seems terrible. I don't like that at all. Seems like I should already be loading this. I feel like I'm like duplicating myself right now. I'm like doing something. I'm already doing something else. See, I am. Yeah, I already am. I've taken care of it already. John, past me, has already done the work. Let's try that again. This one should say, oh, let's do this. I want to put that in quotes, I think. Nah, I don't need to. All right, so I should see the message here. Here it is. And if I quit to menu and choose a different level, there it is. Okay, so basically when I see this multiple times, right, I'll know this guy played it, you know, 5 times, right? And they played this one, and they played this one, and they played this one a bunch of times. Yeah. So that's starting to look like a pretty good log file, actually. So now I've got that. Undo these deletes. No. It's fine. Oh, I can. So I've got that. I've got that. I've got that. I've got that. Got that. I've got that. Tried the editor. So that would just be if they go into editor and they toggle the editor on. Right, they toggle level editor. If they're in play mode, then it's going to switch them to edit mode, and I'm going to log that. What's the verb? Activated in-game editor? Opened editor? Yeah, let's do that. Opened the editor. How to play, controls, and options. Those are all different scenes, so those are actually easy. How to play. Just be here. How to play. Controls. And what was the third one? Options. See, this one's a little more complicated because you can open the options in game. You can also do it as from the main menu. Yeah, that's fine. It's not as complicated as I thought. So that'll be options. And this actually reminded me, I want to see if they're in classic control mode or modern control mode. So that's back to the config thing. I can check that here. Where did my options go? Config controls, right? Config controls. Modern or classic. That's what I want. Whenever you change the, so the way I've got this set up is whenever you change the config is a global singleton, an auto load, and it's basically just managing a dictionary, right? Which is stored on disk as a config file. Let me show you mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So here's the config file, right? This is all the settings. Looks like just a standard ini file, and Godot comes with a class called config that makes these. It's very, very easy. It reads and writes them. It's nice and easy to use. Human readable. You can take your text editor to it. It's cool, right? So this code manages that, and then every time a change happens, it also runs this method, because some of these config settings will have a side effect, right? Like, if you change the music volume, then the side effect is that the volume changes. Or if you change the setting for whether it's full screen or windowed, then the window should change. So this gets called every time you save out the config settings. So in here I can say, that's where I'm putting this: full screen off, full screen on, sound effects, music, right? And I can say if config controls equals modern, then I can log modern controls. And if classic, hey Spherus, how you doing? What I'm doing is a shallow imitation of coding. This is just monkey banging his head on the keyboard until the right stuff happens. Call it coding, I guess, if you like. Right? So now I know if you're using modern controls or classic controls. And the nice thing about putting it into this config singleton is I access it from a lot of different places. So it sort of centralizes it all, right? Like you can access it from here. Nope, you can't access it from there. You can access it from here, right? So I'll go, so I should see a log line for classic controls and now modern controls. And then you can also access it from here. So I should see another line for classic and then another one for modern in the log file. Let's see. I think it's all these guys. Yeah, so classic, modern, classic, modern. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Did you go up before the sunset? It's pretty up there. Nice. Getting your nature on. I went for a walk today because I hadn't been out in the sun in like a week. I was wondering why. I was like, I feel tired. I'm so sleepy. I felt like I hadn't been able to catch up on my sleep. And I think, honestly, I think it was because I just hadn't let sunlight touch my skin for 4 days. And it's funny, I went for a walk and I'm full of energy right now. I mean, it's dark now. It's hard to go for a walk right now, though. It's 100 degrees outside. Electric company sent me a email saying, "Hey, you're gonna be a little over budget this month on your electric bill." I'm like, no kidding. All right, so I've got this. I've got this. I've got this. Okay, I'm just gonna delete those. Controller type. Keyboard or gamepad. This one, do I care? Do I care about what frame rate that they're running it at? Yeah, why not? Let's see. Let's try it. The trouble is, where do you sample it? And how often? Oh, what the heck is this? Oh no. This looks like I deleted something by mistake. Body exited on platform. Method not found. Platform. Undisable shield area body exited. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I think, you know what that could be? It's probably from the game over scene. I'll bet you. Yeah, see, this has a script. How do I view? On disable shield body area. Undisable shield area body. Undisable shield area body. Okay. My how to play scene is doing it because there's an old copy of one of my assets in there. That's why I didn't see the error until I opened that, right? I don't usually go to the how to play screen. Yeah, we want to just disconnect that and disconnect that because we don't care about those, and the how to play scene doesn't need to actually work. So if I go to how to play, and no errors. Okay, let me commit that real quick. Fixed and signal and how to play. So this is all still working. That's cool. All right, frame rate. Frame rate. First of all, how do we get the frame rate? I think it's an engine. Engine. Oh, I don't like this new search that they've got on here. Here's the engine class. Target FPS. That's not right. I want to get this one. Yeah. Engine.get frames per second. Let's do it. Let's do it on the main menu. So when they first launch the game, let's do it. Not there. Let's do it on the start screen. Engine, get frames per second. Right, so we'll log it there. This needs to be a string. Right, so when you first start the game, we should get it. Two. Need to let it settle. See, this is why I thought it would be complicated. Let's do it not there. Let's try it. Here. Okay. And then let's do it again on game over. Here. And then let's do it again in the game while the game is being played, right? That's in here, but I don't want to do it a lot. I want to do it maybe I mean, I do want to sample it occasionally, but I kind of want to do it in a natural way instead of introducing something new in the node tree to do it for me, right? Like I could just add a new timer in here, have it run once every 30 seconds and do it, right? But then, I mean, it's a new timer and it's all this stuff. Maybe there's some natural place in the code in here that I can do it. I mean, there's this one, but I think this timer debug FPS timer. This is going to be too frequent. See, that's every second. I don't want that many. Score changed. What is this? Yeah, there's a Astro timer. It's every half second. I mean, maybe I would have to do something. It just feels like if I add another timer here, it's like adding another dependency, you know? And it's just one more thing I'm going to forget how it works. Maybe this is fine. Because I get frames per second when the game's over. I get frames per second when you load the level. Yeah, that's just fine. That's the game. I'm not expecting any. I honestly am not expecting any issues with frame rate. So far, testing it on laptops, crappy computers, old computers, new computers, it's fine. This game, it does not take a big, beefy computer to run it. Maybe if I was having more problems with frame rate, more people were complaining about it, I would put more effort into it, but I don't think it's going to be an issue, so I'm just going to forget it. All right, controller type, keyboard or gamepad. So this one is maybe complicated because I have all the controls working all the time. And you can switch back and forth at any time. There's no setting to say, excuse me. There's no setting to say, do you want to use the gamepad or do you want to use the keyboard? You just use whichever one you feel like it, and you can switch back and forth anytime you like. So it's all this. Every time there's an input event, it changes it. And I don't want to log it every time. But if game.using gamepad, no, I just want to log it when it changes. So we have to do this. Var using gamepad. Using gamepad. I hate naming variables. Old. I wonder if I can put that in a setter getter in here. Yeah, that would be a neat place to put it. Set get, set using gamepad. Right? So then I do set using gamepad value. If value is not equal to using gamepad, then log it. So if the value is changed, right? Otherwise, no matter what, always say using gamepad equals the value, right? So anytime I change this variable, it's going to call this function with the new value. And then I'm going to update the variable with the value. But I'm also going to say if the new value is not the current value, then I'm going to say if value, then I'm going to log gamepad. Otherwise, I'm going to log keyboard. And I'm going to comment this one for you comment fans. But I'm not going to describe what the method does because it's obvious what it is doing, but I want to know why I'm doing it. This method only exists so that I can log the value of, so I can log the controller that the player is using for analytics. If you remove the analytics, then you can throw this away. Right? You can throw it right in the garbage. Let's see if it works. So I would expect to see an initial value. Okay, so I'm using the mouse and keyboard. I would expect to see an initial value. Then I'm going to switch to gamepad. I'm using the gamepad. And now I'm switching back to mouse again. And now back to the gamepad again. Let's see what happened. Let's look at our log file. Keyboard, gamepad, keyboard, gamepad, keyboard, gamepad, keyboard. And if I keep using the keyboard, it's not going to log it again. Keyboard, 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 keyboard. Right? It didn't keep logging it. But if I switch to gamepad now, there should be a gamepad. There's a gamepad and a keyboard. Oh, it's because I pushed the keyboard to... I did a keyboard event to quit the game. So if I do keyboard and then I pause it. If I hit Alt-Tab though, it's going to put keyboard in again, I think. No, it didn't. Okay. Okay, that works. Kind of works. I mean, I'll know, right? They'll switch to keep gamepad, and then they'll probably play level, 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 level. So I'll see gamepad, or I'll see level, gamepad, and then level, 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 level. And then, or I'll see keyboard, level, 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 level. It won't be like this, right? Keyboard, gamepad. Probably. We'll see. All right, and I've got frames per second, right? I've got my frame rate. All right, I think this is done. You guys hear my dog barking? Such a jerk. All right, I think that's it, guys. So just a reminder, it is Sunday, August 16th, and sometime this week, hopefully before Wednesday, I'm going to have a beta test. So come to gravityace.com, click on the link to the Discord server, come ask for a beta key. I don't know how many I'm going to give out. I don't know how many testers I'm going to need, but it's not a huge number because I can't manage a huge beta test. So first come, first served, I guess, and we'll see how it goes. This play test will be to play through a bunch of the levels that Peter's made and that I've helped work on, and just see how we like it. it's basically shaping up to like final edits before we do a release candidate for Steam for early access. I mean, this thing's actually happening. So this would be my, not necessarily the gold master, but it would be, letting us know that we're on track in terms of gameplay, right? And I can start sending out copies to reviewers and that sort of thing. It's happening. So yeah, go check out gravityace.com. Come join the Discord, ask for a beta key. And I'll see everybody next time. I'm going to stream again probably a couple times next week, so keep your phones at the ready. And yeah, see everybody soon. Talk to you later, guys.